Right, I'm cracking out a load of videos today, so you're going to see a load from the same day. Basically, the next thing I'm building is some 12 watt fittings. Now, we got these for ERD Contracting Limited. They asked us to build 2 12 watt fittings. We'd already been trying to build our stock, etc., and so these 2 12 watt bodies are already stock bodies that we already had made and already had powder coated, which is great because it saves us a load of time. So first thing we need to do is cut the cables. So with these particular ones, we do want a 3 meter long length overall, but what we want to do is do a longer cut length over here. Over here. So what we're going to do is basically change this cut length to the same as the other end. So it's going to be 60 here and 40 here. There we go. Right, so then we're going to do a single, and you watch that come out. Right, so you see the drums up there. We'll just show it. Now, how simple is that? That is the way to do it. Anyway, so when I turn this machine off, I have to open these wheels back up and then power off from the emergency stop button. So that's that bit done. So I'll bring you back over here. Oh, just pull something over. We'll set you up here. Here we go. So it's handy when you've already got all the bodies made. Saves a lot of time. Right, so the first thing I need to do is actually feed each cable down inside the fitting. And then we use hot glue. Would you believe hot glue? Yeah, hot glue. To just initially seal the cabling. And all the hot glue is actually used for is to stop the resin that we use on the heatsink from pouring inside the fitting itself, because we don't want that to happen. So just check the length, just make this a little bit shorter. Now you see that the powder coat is a little bit light on the backs. Now that isn't a problem. We still mark it as a pass because you're not going to see that. No one's ever going to see it, because basically once we resin in the heatsink, it's going to be gone and it's going to be completely protected by the resin. And as I've always said anyway, the aluminium is well covered anyway. So hot glued those. Next thing we need to do is we need to fit our heat sinks. Now obviously these aren't something I machine, or I say obviously, maybe you don't realise, but these aren't something I machine, these are something I buy in. We do put these on the lathe just to drill a 7.1mm hole and then tap to M8 by 1.25 I think it is. And that's what we use normally for our ball joints, etc., and our rods, or some of our rods. So the next thing I need to do is put a heatsink compound in each of these, so that the heatsink is basically thermally bonded to the body. Do that. Here's the heatsink compound. Normally it's up high on a little rack. So I mean, to be honest, normally when we're making loads and loads of these, I take the nozzle off the end of this so that I can get more heat compound out. In this case though, I'm getting tempted. I think I will. I was like, oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, alright, actually, it's taking too long. Makes it a lot easier. And what I like to do is fill any remaining holes, because we've got 2 holes for each of the holders in the bodies, although for whatever reason these bodies have got 4 and 6 holes in. Doesn't really matter, not overly important. Okay, there we go. This stuff gets everywhere. If you ever see it on my hands, it tends not to come off. Okay, and I line the cable up with the biggest slot in the side of this, so I'm just going to pop this in there. Now there is a problem I've seen and I hadn't anticipated, which means I'm going to have to cut back the hot glue. Basically the the heatsink is meant to sit flat inside there, and it's not because the hot glue is pushing it up. So if I get the Stanley knife out, just trim that back. What I might have to do, because I've weakened the glue on this side, is I'm going to have to glue the top side, which we do from time to time. Maybe we should just do that. Maybe gluing the top side is something that makes more sense. I think I have to. Look, there you go, just pull the glue out. We'll try again. So if I strip that off, a lot of our stuff is about perfecting processes, etc., and obviously this process has not been completely and utterly perfected, so we'll get this sorted though. There we go, let's get that in there, feed that in there, push that down to here, and we get it lined up visually to the centre. There's a bit of play in there with regards to how much it can move about. Now this one I might try and again just cut back the hot glue rather than remove it, because that was a little bit of a pain. If I can leave it in situ, I would rather leave it in situ. Right, this one needs cutting back this side. Okay. There we go. Just push that up there a little bit. And then we'll turn these over and glue these in place. Are you getting these ready? I've just realised we haven't had our O-rings for these. I ordered the O-rings ages ago.
Standard lens for
Right, that's really annoying. I've lost all the audio on that. I just noticed that the both mics were off. Let me just make sure that you guys are actually getting this properly. There we go. Yeah, so both mics were off for the receiver and transmitter, so apologies for that. So that last bit will obviously be a time lapse of some sort. So yeah, so basically to kind of talk you through what I was doing, I did the resin pour on the outside of the fittings. I had to do a wax spray first, and that just means that all this resin that's on the outside will easily come off after. So in about an hour or so I'll peel it off. These particular 12 watts are going to be mounted on water feature bases, so I need to machine some little collars to adapt the water feature base to the heatsink on the back, which I'll do tomorrow. And I also need to machine some more acrylic lenses for the 12 watt tops. So that'll be tomorrow. We've got, just so you understand how this kind of works, so these are the 12 watt LEDs. They are held in by this holder, this LED holder. So replacing these LEDs means you have to just undo 2 screws, and then this whole little chip is replaced. It's fairly simple. I mean, not as simple as obviously our other fittings, but you know, still pretty straightforward. We've got 31-degree optics, so yeah, we try to go for something fairly sort of narrow for 12 watts, because normally we're talking about really high heights, and having really high heights means that even 30 degrees, by the time it gets to the top, is super wide. So you have to kind of be mindful of that. Yeah, and when these are finally set, etc. So tomorrow we'll probably be doing all of the thermal tests. So I'll run through the thermal tests with you guys, and some of the underwater testing, etc. If the O-rings turn up, if the O-rings don't turn up, then they have to be held off. We'll see, but yeah, we're waiting just for the Fred O-rings to come, and we ordered them back in June, and they're still not here. That's from a UK supplier as well. But yeah, that's it for now, and we'll see you tomorrow.